Hello and welcome to another episode of Crafts with Rachel! Today on Crafts with Rachel we're going to be making a very special 3D Christmas snowflake. So in true Blue Peter fashion, here's one I made earlier. It's a very special edition of Crafts with Rachel today because we are joined by the one, the only, Santa Claus! Wait, what's that? Sorry, you didn't book Santa. Oh, you got someone else instead? Great, okay. Where are they? Santa Hog! Yay! Okay, so it's lovely to see you. Thank you for coming. Are you ready to help make some snowflakes? You don't have opposable thumbs. Well, we'll just pop you here and you can supervise, okay? Great. So, the first thing that you're going to want to do before you start making your snowflake is put your clown somewhere safe because this is about to get crazy and we don't want him to get hurt. Now that your clown is safe, we're going to have a look at the supplies we'll be needing. So today we will be using some white A4 paper, a lovely pink stapler. Make sure you have loads of staples. I've got some extra ones here. This craft takes a lot of staples. And also some trusty craft scissors. You can also use sort of double-sided sellotape. I've got some paper chase photo mounts that I use for making smaller snowflakes. So as you can see, the large one here is made with a lot of staples, but I've also made a smaller one and it's too hard to get the stapler into that one, so I've used double-sided tape with that. Although I do prefer the large ones, the small ones are just as much work and I find they often look a little bit messier because they're that bit more fiddly to do. You're going to get 2 sheets of paper, get them nice and lined up, and then you're going to fold them down. Like that. So it's corner to corner, and then you're going to do the same on the other side. You should be left with something that looks a little like this. So the next step is we're going to trim this rectangle of paper away. So you've got a triangle like that. And now the next bit, we're going to make the cuts. So we need to make 3 cuts going up from the bottom and going, you want to try and leave sort of an equal distance here at the top of your cuts. If you make this first one a little bit thicker as well, it just makes it that little bit easier to get your stapler in, and you'll see what I mean in a minute. You want your cuts like that, and then you open it out. You've got to be a bit careful separating these because sometimes they can rip a little bit if you don't open them out fully before separating them. Now we're going to pop our stapler down here and fold over both parts here. So this is why it's better to make this middle bit a little thicker, because you can't always get the stapler in if you sort of do that any wider. It's always a good idea to try and find sort of the narrowest stapler that you can. If you've got a very small stapler, you might be able to make this a little daintier, but we'll work with what we've got. So you've done that, and then you're going to turn it the other way up and fold the next piece that way so that it alternates. And give that a staple. You can't do this one flat on the table, otherwise you'll squash what you've already done. So just do the first one flat on the table. Then we turn it around again, and we can see that really taking shape. And one more time. Now we have one crystal, one sort of spoke of your snowflake. So we're going to have to do that 5 more times. this. I think it's about 36 staples you need. It's quite a lot. And now for some very exciting news. I wanted to make sure this was nice and factual as well as teaching you how to make snowflakes. So we're going to get some snowflake facts from the one, the only, Sir David Attenborough. What's that? You couldn't book him either. Well, who have you booked? What do you mean I have to do it myself? Well, I can tell you I've had a lot of other offers and that this network doesn't mean everything to me. Snowflake facts! Did you know that snowflakes form around particles of dust? Did you know that no two snowflakes are exactly the same? Did you know that snowflakes are actually completely clear, but snow appears white due to a process called diffuse reflection? Did you know that the term snowflake is used as an insult by emotionally constipated adults who can't deal with young people being so caring and compassionate? Did you know that it only takes several hundred snowflakes to close down the entire UK transport system? Thank you, Rachel, for those very informative snowflake facts. Right, so now you've made your 6 snowflake prongs. What way did we go? Anyway, you've made the 6 bits, so now you need to pick them all up off the floor. We've got our 6 beautiful things, and now we need to join them all together. So the way I do this in 3s. So we take our first 3 and you want to line them up so that you've got sort of the big side to the little side of the next one. So it looks the same all the way round. And then when you've got them all sort of facing in the same direction, you're just going to give it a nice little staple. And then we'll go on to the other side. We're going to do exactly the same thing. So make sure that it goes sort of the small side of this one to the big side of this one, and around it goes. That, and then small side of that, big side of that, together. And again, we're going to staple it sort of here, because stapling it to the side here means that we've got a lot of space in the middle to then staple both halves together. And when I come to do this, I want to again make sure that I'm doing it so the big part of this bit is going to be next to the small part of this bit. And I'm going to put these together like this in the middle. So they're crossing over a nice amount, and get in there with my stapler. Try and make sure that these stay straight. The folds actually are really useful for this. The folds where we folded the paper earlier. It's a really good idea to try and line those up, because then we know that the snowflake will be nice and straight. So now we've got, it's mostly there, but it's flopping around a bit. So at this point, we go in and we staple these bits together. So like it connects it all up. Try and make sure that you've got them sort of lining up here. It looks a lot neater, but at the end of the day, if it's a little bit off, I don't think anyone will notice either. So we're just going to go all the way round and do that. Staple. Staple, staple. So there we go, we've now been all the way round, and there is our finished snowflake. And if you want to, there is an optional final thing that you can do with your snowflakes. Glitter spray, because why not? But also I want to try and not get this on my table, so. In the process, you want to get your hand good and glittery. That's part of Christmas. And there we have it. some beautiful snowflake decorations. Thank you so much for joining us for Crafts with Rachel. If you've got any suggestions of crafts you'd like to see me try, let me know in the comments, and have a very Merry Christmas. Thank God. Can anyone make me a cuppa? What's that? There's no one here. You're just a knitted octopus. Oh. Maybe this is why I don't have friends.